about those this summer. And I'm about to pack up camp. Had a beautiful morning. Still see the mountains in the background. Here's my little camping spot. Kind of off to the side here. You got to come through this little trail, which is neat. I'll show you. Like I'm off the AT path because of all this. And then now you can see, like I'm out here. Here's the trail. That's Cheese's stuff down there. Met him. Look at that view. You can see the colors changing. But yeah, I'm hidden back in there. I think that's like Unaka Mountain. Thinking about heading over there. Heard there's not really any views, but it's one of those places to where it's super rare to find. And the lower states is it's more like a the whites is what. That little critter. That's what Kyle was saying. They're more like, you know, all the firs and stuff. So, or the pines. We shall see. So yeah, this is headed up to Unaka, or Unaka. Yeah, Unaka. It's a weird name. Looking at the colors. Got leaves on trail. Sun's out. It's a beautiful day. It's way down in the valley. Can't see it too good on film. It's just like every picture and every video I take, it just doesn't do it the same. There's like some depth to being out here and feeling it and embracing it that, oh, that's just splendid, you know? It's hard to capture. Like this morning, the sun coming out and, you know, beaming down on different mountains, and you got the clouds meandering through, and you can kind of just see it all at the same time. It's just way cool. It's the experience, I think. And then there's people out here that you meet and you talk to, and they're super cool, and everybody's got a different story. And to hear that, it's just fantastic. I think there's all kinds of things to it. Last night we were talking about the history and hundreds of years ago, and what the Appalachian Trail was like, you know, even way back and even before there was such a thing as the Appalachian Trail. Just cool. Anyhow, morning thoughts. Look at the red leaves. Red leaves. Pretty red leaves. Last night we got to also talk about the tragic incident of that guy that stabbed somebody on trail, and to hear, I guess, the insider's view from what the talk is out here on trail and what other hikers have heard and have found out. And I mean, the investigation still goes on, I guess, but it's like in the mainstream news, I didn't hear it as much. So, I mean, I heard a little bit from YouTubers and some things I follow, but it was good to hear it from some people that were out here and what all was traveling, you know, news on trail from each other. Hey, also, I haven't had my bear experience yet. Maybe that's because I talk and sing in the woods, or, you know, I'm not always in stealth mode. But they were telling me about, you know, if you want that bear experience through hike, you know, you'll see them for sure. They talked about how they had a couple different bear encounters where, like K2 or Kyle, like hiked up to where all of a sudden, like a bush, like right there, just rustling, you know. And all of a sudden, this mama black bear, you know, comes down, and right behind it is a little baby bear, and there was two. There was one still up in the tree, and she was still watching the baby bear, you know. And Kyle, he just kept backing off and, you know, clapping, of course, and making all the sounds you're supposed to. But you know, to where he got on through, and then, you know, keep clapping, and the mom and the two cubs, once the final cub came down the tree, you know, they took off. Like, you know, black bears are very skittish, and it's not much of a thing, but I still haven't had that experience. And this one, Cheese, he saw a wildcat, bobcat, and he said how, like, being out here for so long, he almost got, like, immune to what it's like to be around, like, actual wildlife that can hurt you. Because once he saw the wildcat, it, like, popped out and popped back in the brush, and then he goes up to the brush and, like, looks at the bobcat, and then watches it scurry off and all. But anyhow, it's neat stories. Watching the stars. It's almost a full moon, and Sukkot's coming around. They called it a harvest moon, and I guess it is. So anyhow, I'm coming up on another hiker or two. Let's look at my view. This is where I'm at the moment, just hiking through. Met Tony back there. He's section hiking, and just stopped, talked to him for a little bit, and headed on. So that is so cool. I love this little ridge right here. We're on that uphill now. It's like steady up till we get there. It's a beautiful area though. I have seen some bear hunters, like, passing by a road that the AT paralleled, and you know, they had the dogs in the back and everything. So maybe I'll have my chance. Who knows? I can see how it's slowly changing into these, I don't know, pine trees, fir trees. Like they were talking about what the whites look like. So there'll be more views. A lot of berries in this section. You know, the thru hikers say it reminds them of the whites. It reminds me of the Mount Mitchell area, or Grandfather Mountain even. Going up some of those trails to like Callaway's Peak, or out there, Mount Mitchell to Graybeard. Reminds me of that. This must be some of what they're talking about. It's nice. Somebody decorated this. How about that? You see it? Not my kind of tree, but there's others that have been here. There's a little book. What's this say? This tree is decorated in honor of the love and memories shared with Max Andrew Norrell. Hug someone and tell them you love them. Find your joy. Happy trails. Suicide hotline. How about that? May the God of green hope fill you up with joy, fill you up with peace, so that your believing lives, filled with the life-giving energy of the Holy Spirit, will brim over with hope. Romans 15:13. I have to look it up. I don't remember it saying like green hope. Huh, wonder what translation it is. Neat anyhow, just neat to see out miles away, you know. Little suicide hotline. I hate that for him. You know, it's sad that we don't treat everybody like they belong here, like they're meant to be here, that they matter, you know, and they do. Everybody, all of us together, somehow supposed to figure it out and, you know, be unified. Kind of like, you know, when you go through a disaster like a hurricane or a flood or something. I had a friend that just went through a flood. He talks about how all the neighbors and everybody came together. But, you know, right after, it just goes back to the way it was. It's kind of sad. Yeah. If we could have that unity all the time. We just get so busy. We're all caught up in materialism and, you know, buying stuff. I like stuff though. I've got to buy the house, pay the bills. It's crazy. I'm sure nobody will like my translation, but it makes me think about like Satan being turned into a snake and crawling on his belly. Makes me think about our evil desires and inclinations and how we're always in pursuit of food and flesh and the things of our worldly desires more so than helping others. A little bit of the adversary that we got to get rid of in each of us. Very neat. This must be what they're talking about. I do love it. It's beautiful. All this green moss on the bottom, on the trees. It's a beautiful area. Oh, and the ground is so soft, or the trail. Oh, it feels good. I'm leaf peeping. Old peepers with the leafers. Well, that was Unaka. I'll show you the top up here again, but really I'm kind of through it. Look at the side over here. I mean, it's thick. I was going back down the other side. My all trail said, you're off route. So I guess I'll come back and, you know, head back down. That was it, Unaka. So this is back where we were leaf peeking, peepers, peep leafing, leafer peeping, whatever. Leaf peepers, that's what you call it. There's this forest, Unaka Mountain. Super cool. Super cool. So yeah, I'm sure that was it. That was Unaka Mountain, and I'm headed back. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Weird. That was weird.